Hi, I'm Kenesha, owner and CEO of PadClean, the residential cleaning service for PadSplit Hosts. And this is how I created my business. First and foremost, I would like to thank AJ Simmons for his video on how to start your own cleaning business. I'll put the link in the description below, so if you'd like to watch that, you can check that out. It's very informative, and I'm going to be explaining the steps I used from his instructions that I incorporated into starting my business. Step 1, make a plan. How did I come up with the idea? I came up with the idea from being in a couple of different real estate groups on Facebook, and the sentiment there is bring value, bring value, bring value. And I'm like, okay, how do I bring value? I'm a new investor. I haven't purchased any real estate. I don't have any deals. I don't even own my own home yet. How can I bring value? So that was always in the back of my head. How could I bring value to this group or to to anyone? So one day at my 9 to 5, there was on the bulletin board, there were some cleaning lists that the managers had come up with. And so me and a couple other employees were we were trying to think of what could we do if we weren't doing this. What would we be doing if we weren't doing this right now? It's like, we really don't want to be doing this. So I'm like, well, you know what? We're making $15 an hour. I know enough about cleaning. I could create a cleaning business and make twice this much. So that's where I first got that idea, and I put that with the other idea about the PadSplit host. I'm like, well, if I created a business for PadSplit host, I could possibly create something to bring them value. That could be a way of bringing them value. And at the time, I didn't know, how that would work. So I went with that. Step 2, pick a name. Now, years ago, about 15, 20 years ago, I remember having the idea in the back of my mind of cleaning for profit, coming up with a cleaning business because, I was aware of single people, with bachelorettes, bachelors, I like, okay, bachelor pad, okay, if I did have a cleaning business, what would I call it? And I never came up with anything. I never gave it much thought after that. Fast forward to recently, I stumbled upon PadSplit Hosts, and I was like, oh wow, what a cool idea. Investors get these properties with big enough like dining rooms, garages, they convert those into more rooms, and then they have separate rooms that they can rent out by the week. Genius idea. So I was like, okay, PadSplit, and that's a cool name. It's like, okay, it describes what they do. They split PadSplit. And I'm like, okay, so if I had a cleaning business, what would I do? I would be cleaning pads. PadClean. That's how I came up with the name. Step 3, get legal. I Google searched how to start a residential cleaning business. I researched the Small Business Administration and City Hall for step-by-step instructions. Registered business name and business license at the Secretary of State. Registered with the Department of Taxation for sales use tax filings. And opened a business checking account at my local bank. Now, business credit cards are available once my personal credit cards are paid down. I think at the time of this recording, my score is like 620, 625, somewhere around there. It might be a little lower since I did try to get business credit card last week. Business lines of credit are available once my business has been established 2 years or longer. I also filed the BOIR paperwork in November of 2024. Businesses now may or may not have to have that paperwork, but mine was already filed by the time they were back and forth. So if I have it, if I need it, I have it. And if I don't, I still have it if they decide to change their minds. Step 4, get an insurance quote. I only had to research 2 companies. The first one I couldn't go with because they couldn't verify my business address. So I ended up going with the second one. And I purchased liability insurance with the Hartford. It was a challenge saving up for that because, let's see, back in the end of 2024, I'd say the last 3 or 4 months, I kept going back and forth with, okay, my last step, I have to get business insurance. I'll get it this check. If I don't get it this check, I'll get it next check. If I don't get it next check, I'll get it the check after that. So I went through that for a couple of months, and then I finally had enough to get my business insurance. So end of November, I got business insurance. So now I am officially a small business owner. Step 5, get accounting software. I had heard about QuickBooks in the past. I ended up choosing QuickBooks Online because apparently they were switching their platforms and going totally online or upgrading their system to online. So I went with QuickBooks, and the only thing I have to do now is link my bank account to the QuickBooks. That way I can do all my accounting all in one spot. Step 6, order supplies. Shout out to Brandon from Clean That Up. He has an awesome YouTube channel about cleaning. Clean That Up. I joined his Clean Squad on Patreon. That way I can, get in with an actual cleaning community. That way if anything comes up, I have a resource in my back pocket. He has a couple great videos on what he puts in his cleaning bags as he goes out in the field. I think he's got one with like basic supplies, and then he's got another one with his power tools in there. It's pretty cool. He's cool. I'll put the link in the description to his channel. Step 7, get marketing materials. I set up a store on spring.com. They used to be called teespring.com, but now they're spring.com. I designed a hat and t-shirt and hoodie so I would have something to work in and advertise the business at the same time. And with the storefront, I'd be able to offer those to people if they wanted them to, because you never know, somebody might say, hey, where'd you get that hat? And they have a spot where they can go to get the hat or a t-shirt or a hoodie. Shorts and work pants, I'll get those from Amazon. I designed some cool sneakers on the Nike.com site. And I might use a QR code for my phone instead of business cards, but I haven't decided which one I'm going to use, if any of those two. Step 8, set up online presence. I went with the business website made by Durable AI Website Builder. They have great features, but no native business email service. But I'll use them for the CRM feature that's included in the plan. I had to get a second website. I got that one by Hostinger. After 5 hours of troubleshooting, I finally determined that you can't just use Hostinger for a business email. You have to pay for a website, a domain, and email packaged together before you can use the email. So what I'm going to do is I'll use the Durable website because I liked its format. I like its format, its choices of pictures and stuff like that. I'll use that for that and my CRM, and then I'll use Hostinger just to have a backup website and professional email. For the business phone, I used TalkRoute. I've never used that platform before. Well, I've never used any platform for a business phone, but I liked them because you can also do video calls with TalkRoute. So I have to try that out and see how that works. Now, as far as my other social media profiles, I do have a LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and the only thing I have left to get is a Google Biz profile and Yelp. Step 9, warm leads. Warm leads should be pretty easy because I can go to networking events for real estate investors and meet other real estate investors. And I'm sure since it'll be for PadSplit Hosts exclusively, word of mouth will probably get around pretty quick. And there's other businesses like Keegley. I think there's a Keegley here in Vegas. And also I can go to PadSplit themselves. I'll put the links in the descriptions. Step 10, prices, start date, and list of services. I reached out to REI Jared on YouTube and Instagram, and he gave me some tips on what he's being charged for his PadSplit properties. I saw a video of his on YouTube, and I think it was actually about co-living. And so that's what prompted me to reach out to him. So shout out to Jared. I'm grateful for him giving me little pointers along the way. And I'll put a link to his video in the description as well. I also researched PadSplit website for host requirements on keeping properties clean, but there were no pricing suggestions. Step 11, last step. Follow up with PadSplit hosts, get feedback from them, get pointers along the way. I'm sure I'm going to learn so much more than just about cleaning. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot about real estate along the way. Ask for referrals and encourage reviews. I should be off to the races by then. Anyway, I hope this series has brought you value and maybe helped you focus on starting your own cleaning business or any business. Just focus, step out on faith, and put in the work. I am Kanisha, PadSplit CEO. Thank you for watching.